Your boxes were all packed.
Yes,
In your
everything was packed.
You had the mover set
ready.
for a day.
I had my family staying with me to help me pack the house in from Florida to help me get everything ready. So we had trips in between. We had a million. I could talk on the camera all day long. I'm not shy.
Alright. Yeah. All right, so I am here with one of my dear friends and favorite clients. To the mic. I'm here with one of my dear friends and clients, Phyllis Cullen. How are you, Phyllis?
I'm good, Betty. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming to my office in the Bronx, making the trip today.
No problem.
Awesome.
I still love the Bronx.
Yes, me too. I'm still here, so I definitely love it. So I want to. I'm doing a new thing with some of my past clients, and most of my clients end up either were my friends before or end up being my friends afterwards, right? So this is kind of like I want to tell the journey of how we sold your house in Throgs Neck, and then we helped you buy up north, and we kind of navigated it together, what it was like. And yours is extra special story. That's why I think starting with you is going to be hard to beat after the.
It might be.
We might have started with the best. So. Before we even get to the real estate stuff, let's talk about how we know each other, right? And how long we know each other, and a little bit about our Bronx history.
How long do we know each other?
Right.
So I remember you when I was probably about 15 years old, playing basketball at Waterbury Park, and you guys were the untouchables, the new kids on the block that everybody wanted to watch and talk to, but nobody actually really could. And sorry to throw you under, you're a little bit older than me, so I wasn't allowed in your little clique back then.
It's all good.
But then you were nice to me.
Yes. So, and I remember exactly what you're talking about. Basketball was very important to us growing up.
Yes,
as
it
you
was.
know. And it still is. I actually still play three days a week. So
That's impressive.
Thank you. So from the park, we had a little journey where the Turner Club, right? There's a men's basketball league. Shout out to the Turner Club and Carlos and Frank Still, Nick Medovine, right? They're still running. I saw Carlos recently. I played with him. Yes, great guy. So they're still doing their thing at the Turner Club. But we used to play for how many years, right?
Oh my God, I can't even count how many years.
It might have been like 20 years, right?
Yeah, a really long time.
Mike Iorata.
We're both showing our age, but yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, and you were the bartender at the Turner Club.
I was.
And so this was unique about it. We would play ball, and then afterwards you'd go upstairs and you'd get to look at the other games and either make fun of the people or whatever while you were drinking and chill out together. Yes, it was fun.
Yes.
So those were good times. And
we had a great time.
Yes. So you call me one day, and you're like,
literally.
Yeah, and you're like. You're thinking about selling, and you're thinking about going. I mean, I'll let you. I don't want to get in. I don't want to get in your head. So you tell me what that was like. Our initial.
I think I literally called you one day and had you over the very next day to say, "I want to do this. Come check out my house." Like literally the next day, and you did it.
Right. And how long did you live in that house in Throgs Neck?
In that house in Throgs Neck, probably. How old is my daughter? Probably over 20 years.
Right.
Actually, and I've always lived in Throgs Neck my whole life.
Yes. So you decided you were going to make a move up north. We know you're a spontaneous person. Maybe what had happened the night before you had
a little bit to a fault.
So you decided I'm gonna go up north and I'm gonna live near the water on a lake.
Yes.
And I'd like to sell my house in Throgs Neck and switch things up, slow down a little bit, right? So do you remember our first meeting? What I said at your house?
And I'm completely out of my mind.
Besides that. No, the part about having to sell to buy, you needed the money from the sale to buy the house. So that's called a contingency. So we're going to get a little technical now. We're going to get a little real estate savvy. Okay. So it was contingent on you selling your house, which is not really a powerful position to buy in. And I kind of explained it.
You did explain that.
You understood it.
Through step by step, minute by minute.
Right. Cool.
And I just trusted you and said you do whatever you got to do and make it happen.
And I love that. And most of the time, that's when things work out.
Yes.
Usually when the client tries to get in, sometimes it makes it harder. So I appreciate that too. So I tell you about the contingency. What were you thinking, like when I left and I told you about did it sink in? No,
not really. Partially.
Did you speak to Gary? Gary's our husband. We love Gary. Shout out to Gary, and he's gonna come back in this story.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is. Sorry, Gary, but that's life. I did think about it. I did listen to you, sort of.
Yes.
In my head, things just have to go a certain way, and I just expect everything to go very smoothly, and I didn't foresee all the little bumps in the
That
road,
could
or
happen.
the big bump
So
in the road
sometimes
that
they say
happens.
like ignorance is bliss, right? You were just like,
It totally was.
yes, you're like whatever,
It
continue to
totally
see.
was. I just
We're gonna
went
do
with
it.
it, and I just thought this is going to be
That's
great.
that's a great lesson in life. Sometimes people overthink things, and
Yes.
the fact that you didn't and just dove in.
And we found
Yes.
the perfect house
Right.
that I wanted
Yes.
on a lake,
Yes.
which is exactly what I wanted. I like outdoor activities. I
Right.
like to keep busy. What I didn't foresee was that the sale wasn't going to go quite as smoothly as
We're gonna get to
thought
that.
it
We're gonna get to
was.
that. So we put your house on the market first, right?
Yes,
And
1, 2,
very
3.
very quickly we establish a buyer and we put it in contract, right?
I think I was literally the first people that actually saw the
Right.
house.
Okay, so we get her house in Throgs Neck in contract, and now here comes the second part of phase 2. We have to go look for her dream house or whatever you perceived it to be, a house on up north in the water. And did you narrow down places, or you were just like, was it that spontaneous?
It was that
You just saw-
spontaneous
Okay.
that I honestly can't say. Maybe not the smartest move. Don't take my advice from that. Didn't really do any research. Just went with the house and fell in love with the house that I saw and just did it.
Okay, so we identify the house that Phyllis wants to see. So now here comes the tricky part to navigate as a realtor. I have to put an offer in on that house, and if there's other offers, ours comes contingent with selling her home. So that's what I explained to her at the beginning. So sometimes you have to bid a little more money. I don't even remember if we had to bid more to
No.
get. I don't think so, right?
No, we
So I
still
remember
did
showing
great.
them the contract, right? I
Yes.
sent the contract to the other realtor. I think it was her home. The realtor, it was
It
her.
was.
It was her home.
It was
right?
her home.
Yeah, right. So I sent her the contract, and I told her who the lender was on the deal. I sent her the contract, and I told her the timeline, and I was like, "This is good money. We're gonna sell. We're gonna have the money from this sale, and we're gonna buy." And we were able to get them to
I'm smirking already. Yeah.
Thank God, say yes. And now we have to navigate. And this is where the attorneys come in. So there's a lot going on. So in New York, it's an attorney state. So you have to have an attorney. Who do we use? Do you remember?
Yeah, Laura.
Laura Brown.
Yes.
Oh.
And I love her.
I love her too, and she's part of my team. So shout out to
Love
Laura.
her.
Yes, she's the best. So that probably helped us too because I'm able. So that's another thing, kind of when realtors recommend lenders, like use John as the lender and use Laura. So it's kind of my team. Shout out to John Kelly. We're actually doing a home buyer seminar tomorrow, so he's going to be there. Laura couldn't make it. I got my niece Val, who I use too. Shout out to Val. So the fact that I had John and Laura, when these things kind of go sideways, it's easy for me to navigate because there might be, I could call them on a Sunday and be like, dude, we got a problem. And by the way, it's the opposite. He called me to tell me we had a problem.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to that. All right, so we navigate the two deals. And now, I believe Laura, so the attorney has to put post-possession. What that means is, you can do the closing the same day, right? But sometimes people like to stay a week or two later. They set up the moving company. So you
Right.
close, you get your money, you let the dust settle,
Right.
and then you move to the next. And I think that's what we did.
We did.
We did 2 weeks. So Laura was able to negotiate 2 weeks post-possession.
Thank
And-
God
right.
for those 2 weeks.
Right. I remember we would talk which moving company to use. We were
Yes.
talking, right? So we have everything set up, and then something happens, right?
My
I get
husband
we
happens.
get a phone call, and it's the lender, and I'm not even going to go into exactly what happened, right? But it caused the loan to not be an activity was done that caused the loan to not qualify for the loan anymore for your buy up north to the house up north,
Correct.
right? And this was, we found that out before you closed on the
Right
so we were
before.
thinking we might not be able to we might have to cancel
we
that
actually
too.
had a date.
Yeah, so we had, if you could understand where this is going, we had the closing set for the Throgs Neck house, and we had 2 weeks post-possession, and we all worked out together, and we were going to go close on the north house and move to the house up north.
Yep.
Right? So we get some information that things happen. We no longer qualified for the loan on the sales side. So,
That-
but I remember, can I say your
You
exact
can
words?
say it.
You want to say it? If I
You can say it. Go
You
ahead.
said, help find me a one-bedroom. This was your boxes were all packed.
Yes.
In and out.
Everything was packed.
You had the
Everything
mover
was
set
ready.
for a day.
I had my family staying with me to help me pack the house in from Florida to help me get everything ready. So we had trips in between, we had a million things going on, and yeah, I basically told you I'm going to need a 1-bedroom because I'm leaving my husband because he screwed this whole thing up and I'm going to have no place to live.
Yes. And I was like, I laughed, but I also was like scared because I was thinking if we got to back out on your sale, there's going to be legal stuff for you. I thought it was like besides the fact that everything was lined up perfectly. Like, so
Yeah.
I was worried about that. So this is when we kind of, by the grace of God, we did some creative thinking, and the seller luckily held the note. It's called hold the note. She held the mortgage for the first year. So because you didn't qualify anymore with the lender, we were able to talk the seller into holding the note, and I think they charged a little more money, right? So they
They
benefited,
did,
right?
but I still don't even know how that worked out. That was pure fate, I guess the word is.
Yes. I
And it was
agree.
just meant to be because
Yes.
I got really, really lucky. I don't know many sellers that would do something
And
like
she
that.
was adamantly against it when
Yes.
when I first brought up the idea. I was like, "Hey, I got a simple solution." Like I was trying to slip it
Yes.
in, and she was like, "Never."
So I think you did a little
finessing.
brainwashing.
Yes, I did a little finessing.
All right, you call it finessing, I'll call it brainwashing. Same thing.
Yes, but I also, yes, whatever, brainwashing, finessing. I like that. But so we were lucky, and she was nice enough to do that, and we figured out a term that worked for both of you guys. So then you ended up. We did the closing, right? And then you
We did.
We did your closing on your house. You got the proceeds from that sale,
Yep.
and then you went a week later, maybe. I don't know if dates
Somehow,
changed or they stayed the same.
miraculously, we did it. A few changes along the way. I think we had to push the closing. Maybe it really wasn't bad. Like a week later,
Okay.
it wasn't
Yes. Yes.
terrible. I mean,
And then-
I might have cried for 2 weeks, thinking I had absolutely no place to. All right, I did cry for 2 weeks, thinking I had no place to live. I was gonna come move in with you.
I remember that.
Literally, I was gonna move in with you.
That's right,
'Cause I
upstairs.
Had, yes,
I had it.
I had absolutely no place to go
That's
whatsoever.
funny. You were like, "Is that apartment still vacant?" Like,
Yeah.
Because I had it for John, and then John never took it.
Yeah, I was moving in with you.
That's so funny.
So you were gonna be stuck with me
Yes.
for the rest of your life somehow, some way, and
That's it.
here we are.
All right, so they held the note, and then what? A year later, you set a date that you were going to refinance, and then you
Yes.
yeah, right, and then
Yes,
now
and
you-
we finally are back to normal. I think being normal homeowners.
Okay, cool.
I think that's all said and done.
So
God,
it's-
it should be. I've been there 2
How
years
long
now.
ago was this?
2.5 years. Yeah.
You've been up there 2.5 years.
2.5
So tell
years.
me some of your favorite things about the new. I know the lake.
The
right?
lake.
The lake is amazing, right?
The
It's
lake.
right in your yard, right?
It's literally in my backyard. I walk out into my backyard. I pull a kayak out. I go for a long ride where nobody can find me, and I disappear, and I love it.
That's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes. So, kind of the moral of the story, and why I wanted to have Phyllis on, besides our friendship and amazing client, that
Besides my good looks.
Eh.
No, I'm just kidding. He just wanted to sell some videos.
that's it. That's it. Whatever works, right? So, the fact that people sometimes are scared to sell and buy at the same time because they worry about that contingency. It can
Yes.
be done
It can be
with
done.
a little faith and the
Even
right people
with
around you.
bad circumstances
Yes.
and a little bad luck.
Yes.
It can be all turned around, and
Yes.
it can happen. You got to have trust in your realtor. You got to have trust in your lawyer, and a little bit of faith.
Love it.
And then when you put it all together, it somehow comes out on top, and it works.
I gotta ask, do you miss the Bronx?
Yes.
You
I do miss the Bronx.
Yeah.
I do miss the Bronx.
Yeah.
I am born and raised my entire life. I lived in 2 homes in my entire lifetime. So yeah, of course I miss the
Did it
Bronx. It's
take?
different.
Did it take getting used to, like the all of
I'm
a
still
sudden?
getting used
Really?
to it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
adjusting.
Yeah.
It's different. It's a really different life, but I still love coming down here. I still kind of run down here for everything I do, if that makes any sense.
Okay, of course. But you have
Force of
relationships,
habit,
right?
yeah.
You have people that are still here. Anything you got going on that you want to mention? Anything you want to plug? Anything you're doing? Any concerts? I know you're a big concert. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to get to see Post Malone again,
Okay.
which is kind of nice. That's kind of cool because there's concerts up there, so you don't have to schlep like all the way to New Jersey and deal with all that
Oh, that's right. Where?
craziness.
Where?
Right
Bethel?
in Connecticut.
Where?
Yeah,
Bethel.
it's beautiful.
Okay.
Great place to see a show. Highly recommend it. But I'm a rock person, so I don't know if you're.
So tell me some
Clients are gonna go for
some of your most recent best concerts.
Oh, Papa Roach, Falling in Reverse, Post Malone last year, Jelly Roll.
That's how you started playing guitar?
You started playing
Yes,
guitar?
and I'm pretty good.
That's so cool.
Yes,
So
yeah.
you just wanted to add to your popularity
That's it.
status
That's it.
and raise the stakes
That's
again,
it.
so you're
That's it.
untouchable all over again.
I'm trying. Exactly. But yeah.
Nice.
And it's pretty cool with YouTube. It's easy to just look at, learn the chords, and once you learn a few chords, you can learn some stuff.
That's really cool.
Yes.
I'm
Thank you.
impressed. I'm
Thank
very
you.
proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. What else? It was a pleasure having you on. And like I said, I'm going to continue to do this. Not all are going to be as good as this, and then they're not going to be
Yes,
as
they are.
spicy.
They're gonna be good.
Some a lot went smoother. You know what I mean? But again, if you're thinking you need to sell and you're worried about buying, get the right people. Talk to me. Reach out, because it can be done. You just need the right support. Phyllis, it's been amazing having you on, and I thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
for
down.
having me.
Yes, pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Great. Good job,
Good.
guys. Yeah. Really good.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.